Hello, Feuzion. My name is Alex Feuzion, host of Feuzion News. It is 5 p.m. here on the East Coast, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. Today is January 26, 2017, and I am joined right now by Jerry Crasnick, ESPN MLB.com reporter for the MLB. So, Jerry, I know it's been a calm few weeks for the MLB as Super Bowl is next Sunday. So, how has the offseason been for you?
Well, it's been kind of a strange off season, Alex. We had some activity early, and obviously Fernandez got traded, and some big things happened. But it's been kind of a strange off season, I think, for a lot of these low to middle market kind of free agents. It's kind of astounding to think we're at the end of January, and there's still dozens of them still unemployed, so I think it's going to be pretty stressful for those guys.
Now, here in upstate New York, there's a lot of Yankee fans and, of course, the Mets fans as well. But this question are for the Yankee fans. They traded away Brian McCann, their catcher of the past few seasons, paving the way for Gary Sanchez to be that backup star, which he really proved he could be in the final months of the season last year. So were you surprised the Yankees traded away Brian McCann to the Astros?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think they're sort of going in a different direction and going younger and trying to shed payroll. Carlos Beltran is gone, and it seemed like there was some buzz around some other guys. They're trying to, bring in the young kids. Obviously you have Didi Gregorius and Castro and Sanchez, and looks like Greg Bird might get a shot, and they'll give Aaron Judge a shot. So seems like it's the kind of a situation where Brian Cashman had hoped maybe to go with younger kids and shed some payroll and get away from that high-priced older roster, and so they're going through a real transition period right now.
Now, unfortunately, there were two young, really young baseball players that passed away over the weekend, and I have to ask you, what really has been the tone within the MLB rosters, because of course Jose Fernandez, that tragic accident happened in the final month of the season last year, and now of course a tragic accident this past weekend. So what has been the tone within the MLB over the past few days?
Well, I think there's just a sense of profound sadness. We've lost two young guys, Ventura and Jose Fernandez, along with Andy Marte. You had Oscar Taveras in 2014. So, anytime you see something like that happen, it's very tragic, and it contributed to a very somber mode. And I think in some of these front offices, there's just a sense of concern and fear that when these kids go away for the off season, you want them to be safe, and especially in the Dominican Republic, it seems like the driving situation with the traffic and the speed and a lot of other things, roads that aren't great, has contributed to some really unfortunate occurrences, and it's really put a lot of people on edge.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll switch gears. I know that's a really bad topic to switch gears on, but you mentioned at the beginning of the show the Red Sox, of course, traded away to get Chris Sale. And the Red Sox are looking to be the team in the AL East. And the Yankees, we talked a little about them. And the Baltimore Orioles, they're still there in the division. And the Tampa Bay Rays, they haven't really done anything over the offseason. And the Blue Jays, they got Bautista back. But are the Red Sox your pick for this AL East? Or do you think there is another team within that division that could possibly come on top at the end of the season?
Well, I think the Red Sox have to be the favorites. When you add Chris Sale to a rotation with Rick Porcello, the Cy Young winner, and David Price, who's probably going to come back stronger, that's probably as good as any big three in baseball. And obviously, David Ortiz is gone, but you still have Mookie Betts and Xander Bogaerts and a really solid core of young kids. So I think the Red Sox have to be the favorite. Toronto is still kind of a dark horse. They lost Encarnacion, but they still have a really solid rotation, and they did bring back Bautista and signed Kendry Morales. So they're not going to have quite the same offense, but rotation, and I could see them being a team that's gonna make a run at a postseason berth. But when you look at that division, Boston clearly has to be the favorite.
Mm-hmm. Now, the team that got Encarnacion is, of course, the Cleveland Indians that lost to the Chicago Cubs in the World Series last year, and what a Game 7 that game was. Now, the Indians are rumored that they will be hosting the AllStar event in 2019. Have you heard anything more about this, or is this just rumors right now?
No, I think they're supposed to have a press conference on Friday to make this formal, but they're going to be hosting the AllStar Game, and that's kind of a coup for Cleveland. Last time they did it was during the glory days in Cleveland when you had Manny Ramirez, and Jim Thome, and Albert Bell, and the Alomars, that whole group in the '90s. They were the crown jewel of baseball. So it's going to be pretty exciting announcement for Cleveland, and they're planning to have a press conference on Friday to announce it.
Now, do you see this Indians team being the glory days back again? Because besides the Cleveland Browns, their glory days are, definitely weren't seen this past season. But the Cavs, of course, them winning the championship, last year in the NBA, and now the Indians making it to the World Series. And this team looks better than they were last season. So do you think the Indians are right now in the glory days right there in Cleveland, Ohio?
Well, they can be pretty strong. I think the health of the pitching rotation is going to be huge. But if they can bring back Carrasco and obviously you got Corey Kluber, and it's a very strong starting rotation. And to add Encarnacion to that lineup really makes it even better. I think Michael Brantley's health is going to be a key. He's one of the better left fielders in baseball, and if you can get him healthy and contributing, then that really lengthens out that lineup, and all of a sudden, they have an offense to go along with that pitching. And then you also look at, Chicago kind of backslid over the offseason. Kansas City, unfortunately, losing Ventura was a big blow, but they had to trade away Wade Davis and do some things out of cost cutting. And Detroit really was hamstrung by not spending money. So the rest of the division is probably going to be a little bit weaker. So that might pave the way for Cleveland to get to another postseason as the division winner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Jerry, I know we're only a month away from spring training, but if you were to pick one team to win the 2017 World Series championship, who would it be?
Oh, boy. Yeah, it's a little bit early. The Cubs, obviously,
okay.
You got to like what they did. They're a young team, and, they've done some things to get better. So, maybe it's going to be that Cubs-Red Sox World Series this year, which would stand baseball on its head. But I think when you go into the postseason, look into the season right now, early, those have to be the two favorites. So if you get those clubs in a World Series, it's hard to imagine one that's bigger than that.
Now, Jerry, final question before we wrap up this Feuzion News interview. Of course, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the Super Bowl is next Sunday. So, I know you're a baseball reporter, but will we be watching that Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. I mean, it's more of a cultural event now than I watched enough football. I just hope the postseason has been pretty bad in football. It hasn't been very good, so I'm just hoping it's a little more entertaining than what we've seen so far.
Well, as a Patriots fan, I hope the Patriots win by 60 points. But if you were, to pick, what team are you rooting for, or do you think what team has a better shot to win the championship this year?
Well, I'm from New England, but I'm not a huge Patriots fan. But I do think it's kind of hard to find anybody better than Tom Brady in these situations, or Bill Belichick. So I think, Atlanta's probably going to be a little bit uptight, being in a Super Bowl, kind of a rare occasion for them. And, so I guess if I had to pick a team, I would think New England's going to be the favorite in that game.
Okay. Well, Jerry Crasnick, I want to say thank you for coming on my show today, and I want you to promote your blogs on ESPN and where the fans can find them and follow you on Twitter.
Yeah, it's just at Jay Crasnick on Twitter. So I'm on there. So if people want to go on and follow, I would certainly appreciate it.
Okay, great. And, I look forward to having you on, hopefully during the baseball season. I know a few more weeks away, and, everyone here in upstate New York are hoping to get those Yankees back on their TV very soon.
Hey, thanks, Alex. Take care.
You too. Okay, everyone, I'm back here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Lauren Cooley. We'll be talking about the big news today. Donald Trump going to Philadelphia. We'll be talking some news, politics, sports, and more. Come back here at 6:30. I'm Alex Feuzion, the host of Feuzion News. I'll see you at 6:30, and be kind to one another. Thanks for watching.